Okay, once again, thanks for joining us here today. My name is John Harris. I'm the Education Account Manager for the Midwest region here at Epson America, and I'm going to be giving you a short presentation here on our Epson iProjection app used with various host devices for your source content to share that wirelessly to your Epson projector. So we're going to go ahead and begin the presentation here in just a moment, but before we do that, I just wanted to kind of highlight a little bit of information regarding the presentation. So today, this presentation will last about 20 minutes, and then we'll take some time at the end for a question and answer section for any questions that you guys may have that I don't address directly during the presentation, or if you need any clarification. Please feel free to ask any questions you have during the presentation. There is a section in the control panel for the webinar software where you can click the questions icon and then type your questions in there. We'll try to answer those as fast as we can during the presentation and then as well at the end. Your phone or computer should be automatically muted, but if you want to go ahead and check on that and go ahead and mute your phone or your computer, that'll be helpful as well, just to make sure we don't have any interference during the presentation. So there's also in that control panel for the webinar software, there is a section called handouts. In there you'll see several different handouts for this presentation. Those are going to include some of the current education pricing for the projectors and our large format printers. There will be some information specific to iProjection, as well as our partner for professional development called Eduscape. So you can check all that out, and please feel free to download those right here at the beginning of the session and have a look over those. And if you have any questions regarding that documentation, feel free to ask those as well. So also, after the webinar, you will receive a quick survey email. You can respond to that. And then also I have a couple poll questions I'm going to get to you guys during the presentation and see if I can't get some feedback out of you as to some information we'd like to hear back from you regarding iProjection. So now moving forward, here's the agenda for today's presentation. So first, for iProjection, we're going to go through some of the requirements for the software to work with your projectors. Then we'll go into some details about the actual iProjection suite itself, and then we'll look at some of the version differences based on the type of source device you're using, whether that's a PC, a Chromebook, a MacBook, a tablet, Android-based device. So there are some differences there depending on what type of device you're using. Then we'll go through a quick sort of demo of how you get set up and connected via iProjection, how you use that to push content from the teacher's device out to the student's device, how the students can then annotate on that content and then send it back to the teacher. And then we'll have a summary for questions and answers at the end. So here we want to step right into what are the requirements that you need to know and need to have in place for you to utilize Epson's iProjection software to wirelessly share content to your projector, and then also essentially push that content back out to the various connected devices that are connected to that projector as well. So one of the first things that you'll want to have is an Epson projector that is networked on your school network infrastructure. And there's a couple ways that you can go about doing that. You can either directly hardwire those projectors into your network via the RJ45 connection on the back of the projector, or if the projector has wireless capabilities built in, you can use that wireless capability, or if it's not natively wirelessly capable, you'll need to add the wireless dongle to the projector, and that is a additional accessory for most of our Epson projectors that cost about $110 for education. So you've got those options there. Either hardwire the projector into your network, wirelessly connect it with the built-in Wi-Fi, or add the wireless dongle, and then get that projector connected to your local network there within the school. Then your source device, such as your PC, your MacBook, your Chromebook, your iPhone, Android tablet, those sort of devices also need to be able to connect to that same network that the projector's on. So you're going to need some wireless infrastructure in those rooms that your computers can reach out to and get connected to that same network that you have the projectors connected to, right? That's going to be one big key that you want to make sure that you're taking the time to set up initially before you get ready to use iProjection. And then finally, the third requirement we want to talk about here is the downloading and using of the particular version of the app that goes with your specified device, whichever kind of device that is. There's going to be a different application, all iProjection, but you need to specify what type of device you're using and go to the appropriate location to download that application for your device. So most of you are probably familiar with what iProjection is, but if you're not, iProjection is Epson's free wireless display solution for Chromebooks, Android devices, PCs, tablets, Apple computers, iPads, iPhones, and the like. So as you can see in the image there, you have several students in the classroom, and they're all on different kinds of devices. Maybe in your schools you're standardized on one type of device, that's fine. Maybe in more of a business type setting, you might have people with multiple different kinds of devices. So this solution definitely goes across various types of hardware platforms. And I think the biggest key here is this is a free application from Epson that you can use with any of our Epson projectors that are 2016 and later. If you have older models, we do have an older software, but we don't want to discuss that here today. That is our older software some of you may be familiar with, which was called Epson Multi-PC Projection. Nowadays, you want to make sure you're using the current version for your newer projectors, Epson iProjection, and make sure you have the most current version downloaded to your device. So, and then just kind of going over a little bit more of the features of what iProjection can do for you. So I think the big thing here is that iProjection is a application, a software that allows you to have up to 50 different devices of various kinds connected to the projector at the same time, right? And of those 50 connected devices, one person can act as the moderator. Generally, that's going to be the teacher in the classroom. And so the moderator is going to be the person who can control which of the 50 connected devices can be displayed on the projection screen at one time. So when you see the pictures there, sort of what it's showing you on the phone is that you go into the multi-device projection tab, then you can see the different devices that are connected. Right there you have two. And then after selecting those devices, you can display up to 4 different individual devices on the screen at one time of up to 50 devices that you're connecting. The moderator functionality for the teacher in the classroom allows them the ability to preview that content before they display it. So you can take a look at what any of your students are looking to share back to the projector, and so long as that's what you're looking for to receive, you can then display that from that list of available connected devices. Once again, as you see in that picture down on the lower right, you can display up to 4 individual device screens at one time. Okay, and then now you might be thinking, okay, we've connected to the projector. We have the teacher is moderating the session. She has shown content to the students, and she's asking the students to complete some sort of math questions, or maybe it's a pop quiz of some sort. So within the different applications and software versions, you have annotation tools for those connected devices. So as you can see in the top image there, a couple math problems have been pushed out to the students, and they then use their annotation tools to demonstrate those fractions by coloring in the sections of the various pies you see there. That's going to be the annotation example on the top is for the mobile devices like iPad. If you're on a PC or a Mac computer, it's a different version of annotation tools that you'll want to download to those host PCs called Easy Interactive Tools. For those of you that have our BrightLink projectors, you're probably familiar with that software. That's what you're going to use as for example, if you're connected to iProjection via a PC or a Mac, you're going to want to use Easy Interactive Tools as your annotation software. So that's what you see there at the bottom. Okay, so next we just kind of want to look at what types of content do we recommend you just use while you're using iProjection. iProjection is specifically designed for the assistance in wirelessly sharing the various types of content you see below and in the image there. You can display photos, web pages, documents, and presentations and other types of information you would like to share. So, that just gives you a couple examples of what the types of documents and various content you can use with iProjection. So now we're looking at sort of a functionality of the iProjection software, which is just the ability to push content from the teacher's device out to the student devices to allow them to then work on problems, select their answers and so forth, and then push that back to the teacher for display to the rest of the classroom. Also, one of the functionalities of the iProjection suite is, so for your connected devices, whether that's a computer, iPhone, Android phone, you can use the camera on those devices very much like you would use a document camera to share that, what the feed from your camera to the projector. So very much if you use document cameras with our projectors, it's a similar functionality, except you're now running that through your mobile device that's connected to the projector via iProjection. Okay, and as we've talked about before, what you're looking at here is the locations where you would go to download iProjection software. So for PC or Mac, you're going to want to go to the Epson landing page for your projector, and then you're going to want to look under the support section for drivers and downloads, and then you'll see the links to download the version for PC or Mac, whichever Windows version or iOS you're running. You want to go ahead and select that from the drop-down menu and download that software to your computer. If you're using a Chromebook, Android, iOS device, you need to go to the respective application store, so the App Store for Apple or the Google Play Store for Chrome or Chrome Web Store. So those are the various places that you would go and actually download the applications to your devices. And then, as we said, this chart really goes over the differences in the suite versions and then what options that you have the availability to do. So as you can see, in all of these devices here, what you're looking at in this grid is, you can see for Windows, for Mac, for iOS, for Android, some of the functionality isn't the same across the board. And one of the things that I'm interested in finding out from you is, for the many of you that are using Chromebooks, that is one of our versions that does not include the moderator software. So typically the software that the functionality that the teacher would use to control whose content can be displayed on the screen. So if your teachers are using Chromebooks, they couldn't act as the moderator. So I'm going to issue a poll right now for you guys to take to get some feedback on, for you, those of you that are using Chromebooks, would you like to have the moderator feature added to that application? So here's the poll. Go ahead and take some time to answer this for me. I very much appreciate that. Okay, we'll leave the poll open for just a few more minutes to make sure everybody gets a chance to vote. I really appreciate your feedback on that. Okay, looks like we've had most of you take the time to vote here. So I'm going to go ahead and close that poll now. Thank you. And then, like I said, you know, depending on the version you have, you're looking at some different features here that are available for each option. If you have any questions about this chart, or do you like me to send that to you, please let me know in the question section there. I can make sure you get a handle on this, and then we can further discuss what features you guys are using and which ones you would like to make sure each version has. Thank you, appreciate that. So now moving on again. You know, so I want to go through some screenshots here of what it looks like when you go through the process of getting the connected devices, to, you know, the wireless devices connected to the projector. Then we're going to show you what it looks like when you connect a Chromebook, use the moderator functionality, and then how to send content to the connected device and use annotation. So here we go. So the first thing you're going to want to look for on your computer or your tablet or iOS device is the icon for the iProjection application. It looks like this. So once you've downloaded and installed it, you'll want to go to that icon and go ahead and open that software up. And then now you're connecting to the projector. This is the first screen you're going to see. It's going to pop up in this, and really what this is showing you here, when it says quick connection mode, that would be if you're just doing sort of an ad hoc connection, connecting wirelessly directly to the projector, but not connecting to any sort of wireless infrastructure in your school. So if your projector has wireless capabilities, whether built in or with the dongle, and you just want to quickly connect to it without going through your infrastructure, you can use the quick connect mode. Most of you are going to use the wireless infrastructure, and that's going to be under the advanced connection mode. So you're going to want to switch to advanced connection mode, right? And then you're going to want to, if that's the way you generally connect and want to connect in the future, you can go ahead and check that box below and say that make this the default mode for future connections, right? So this is, once again, as soon as you open up iProjection, it's going to go walk you through these initial connection settings. Once you've selected those, it's going to bring you to a screen here where it's going to give you the option to find the projector that you're looking for. So one of the first screens you'll see anytime you power up your Epson projector and it's on the network, it's going to give you the IP address of that projector. So in your initial setup, you're going to want to enter that IP address of the projector. After you've entered that once, it's generally going to go ahead and find that projector automatically. But initially, you might need to put in that IP address so that you can then find the projector that you want to connect to, right? So then once you've found it, you go ahead and check the box for that projector. Then also on a PC or iOS or MacBook, Android, all but the Chromebook version of the application, you can connect as the moderator. So for the teachers, that's the box you'll want to check there, is the connect as the moderator. Once again, you've selected all the right things here. You found the projector. You want to be the moderator. You go ahead and click join. Now that you've joined, what you're seeing here is that EAI 14210 is the teacher's device. That is the moderator device. So it's shown in the top section there. And it's showing that it's the one and only of the 4 quadrants at the time, right? And then now, what we've done is another device has come onto the network and connected to the projector. So you see the Chromebook down there on the left in that section under username. That's a new student device that's now found the projector on the network and gone through those similar stages of connecting to the projector. Initial connection might need to enter in the IP address, and after that, you should be able to find it automatically. So now that you have got a student device in there and it's showing up in the usernames, this is where you would see up to 50 devices down below that username section. In order to add this to the options that are visibly displayed, you want to go ahead and select it, drag and drop it into the section for wherever you would like it displayed in that quadrant. And then now at the top section here, what you're looking at is your ability to move between selecting display one screen only, two screens, or up to 4 different screens via iProjection. So you select whichever mode, drag and drop the various devices into the quadrant, and you're ready to move forward. So this screen right here is showing you, for example, the teacher's desktop. So if the teacher had a web browser pulled up and they were going over some content on the web, this would be their screen that they would be sharing to the projector wirelessly via iProjection. Now, if the teacher wanted to push that screen out to their students, they would go into the settings here of iProjection again, and then they would want to hit the share button down there at the bottom left that's highlighted in red, where you see the little screen and the arrow sort of directing to push it out to various other connected devices. So this would be an example where maybe if you wanted to present a pop quiz to the students and all their devices are connected, you share that quiz from your computer out to the devices, and then you go ahead and select start to send that projected screen to those devices like the Chromebook we showed was connected earlier. Now it's delivering that image over to the connected Chromebook. And now what comes up is a pop-up. You're looking at the Chromebook screen here. So this would be a student device, and then they would get a pop-up message telling them that, hey, an image has been received, and since it's a Chromebook, you need to pick a saving location for that based on the Chromebook's internal settings of the cloud there. You'll open up this screen, save location, and then now that you've picked that, it's going to give you the ability to see that screen that the teacher has pushed out. Once the students are then viewing that screen, they get the option to do some annotation on that. So once again, imagine a pop quiz of some sort, maybe a multiple choice or a math problem here where you're asking the students to now take a look at the problem, solve the problem by annotating on top of that content. And once they click that pen icon, it's going to open up the annotation tools built in. So this is what you would see for a student's Chromebook. They would get the annotation tools at the bottom where you see the pen, the spot eraser, the full screen erase, and these are just going to erase the annotations, not the image. The ability to save, then also project that image out. Then you have your undo and redo options as well. So if you select the pen, you can see, similar to the other annotation software that Epson has, you get the option to choose the thickness of your line and then also some various colors of your annotation ink right there. And then now this would be an example. Say it said, look, we want you to circle the iProjection app icon on the page and then send that back. So now the annotation is done. You circled iProjection as the student. Now you've pushed it back, and this is the screen where the teacher would be reviewing content before displaying on the projector. So that you get the chance to review it as the moderator, and now the moderator has said, yes, you've circled the icon and pushed it up to the projector in a single image display. So that's just a quick example of sort of the suite set, the different versions, using a PC with moderator, and then also using a Chromebook to annotate and then push that content back. I do have one more poll I would like to offer you guys right now to see if I can get some additional feedback. And this one is going to be having to do with the type of content you're most likely to use with iProjection. So I want to issue that poll now and see if I can't get some feedback from you. Thank you very much. And then please feel free to use the questions section to ask any questions you have now, and we'll be happy to answer those.